Hi, I'm Dr. Leslie Pasco, and I'm here at the MGE Owners Conference. And again, just to remind you, this is the first time ever that we've had a conference like this. This is a combination of not only practice management education, but clinical education. And we also have made this more like a mini dental convention. And so that means that we have some exhibitor support. And one of our exhibitors is the company called Bent Ericksen. And I'm a proud client of Bent Ericksen. And so I brought Bent Ericksen here so I could share what they're all about with you. So let me introduce Adrienne Twigg. She's a representative for Bent Ericksen. And thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I've been so happy with your services and the things that you do. You're a human resources company, and I am not in human resources. I'm a dentist, so I don't have time to deal with employees and staff and paperwork. So I wanted to ask you, if there's one thing that you could say in a nutshell, if you could tell us who Bent Ericksen is, what would you say?
Bent Ericksen and Associates is really the industry's go-to HR resource. All we do is human resources, which, as you can imagine, takes up all of our time. We've been in business for over 30 years, and probably 98% of our client base is dentists. So dentistry is really our niche. Our reputation for taking care of our clients and the service that we provide is stellar. We do it expertly, and we're there for our clients when they need us.
I can attest to that stellar service because I've used your services plenty of times, and what I really appreciate about your service, and before we get into the details, I'd like to share this. When we have questions about how to handle certain situations within the office, we give your office a call. We set up a little appointment, and we get a consultation with one of your excellent team members. It's been very successful for us.
Yeah, and you know, that's really what we're there for, because as a dental professional, as a dentist, you should be taking care of your patients, and you're not trained in human resources. That's one of the things that you do not get in your dental curriculum, and that's what we're there for, is to support you in that. So we take that pressure off your plate so you can give your patients the best care.
Yeah, and that makes sense, and I've experienced that myself. You don't want to be thinking about all those other things while you're in the middle of a crown prep or a root canal or an extraction. You want to have your mind on your patient. So yeah, I can appreciate that. So a little bit more detailed explanation of what you guys do. I know that we have forms, and it's state specific, and laws change, and tell us a little bit about that.
Well, especially as the labor market tightens up with the unemployment rate being low, which that's great. We're there to help the dental professional to be able to hire the people that they need to fill the job positions. So the package that we offer really walks them through the recruiting and the hiring process all the way through. We offer customized, personalized job policy manuals, employee handbooks, and all of those are specific to the state that they're in, and also the number of employees they have, because as you are well aware, every state is different about what they require, and it also gets into differences with the number of employees. So that threshold can be different. So we monitor that, and when we put a handbook and a manual into place, we make sure that those are covered. We also have job descriptions for every single position in the practice. They're all compliant with the ADA. And for this instance, it's not American Dental Association, it's Americans with Disabilities Act.
Okay, that's good that you clear that up, because as a dentist, that's what we tend to think when we hear ADA.
Yeah, exactly. So we make sure that your job descriptions are compliant. Those job descriptions are really crucial too. A lot of people will think, oh, well, this person's been with me for years. He or she knows what they're supposed to do. Well, that may be true. But if you're ever called on to defend an action that you've taken with an employee, the job description can be a crucial part of that. If you're going to hire someone, giving them a job description in the very beginning so that they know what's expected of them is also an important part. of
Yeah,
that.
it sounds like it would be very important to also have your existing staff members know what their job descriptions are. So, bringing Bent Ericksen on board as a human resource department, it would be wise and in the dentist's best interest to sit down with each individual employee and show them what their job description is.
Absolutely.
It's kind of like starting fresh,
Mm-hmm.
but with your existing employees.
Yeah, we really consider it a recipe. I am not a cook. I'm not an Iron Chef by any stretch of the imagination. But you give me a recipe and I'm good. I can do that. Well, a lot of times we find ourselves bringing people in and just kind of throwing them into the position and hoping that they sink or swim. But if they have a job description, they know what's expected of them. They can make that recipe happen if they have that job description.
Yeah.
So it's really critical.
Well, I have to say what you guys do is really helpful for me, and I know for hundreds, if not thousands, of other businesses that you guys are associated with and that you've helped. One of the things I really appreciate is that everything is online.
Yes.
It's sort of in the cloud, so to speak.
That's right.
And when things change, they just update automatically. We don't have to think about it.
That's right. We send update notices to let you know if a federal law or state law that will affect you has changed, and we can go in and get you updated so we keep you in compliance. So it's not just a one shot and you're done.
Yeah.
And that's part of the ongoing service that we provide to make sure that you're updated and that you stay in compliance.
Yeah, and I know the cost is very reasonable because I, in the past, had an employment attorney put together a whole policy manual for my practices. I'm not going to say exactly what it cost, but it was probably about 6 times or more of what I know what you charge. It was astronomical, and your services are so important, and they're also very cost effective too.
And one thing about our service, as you have well experienced, when you pick up the phone to call that attorney for advice, their meter's going to be running.
Yeah, absolutely.
Our cost is all of your telephone support time is included in that. So you don't have to worry about what's that going to cost me if I call to get advice. We want you to call us to make sure that you're handling things proper.
Right. And currently, what is the price for your service, if you could just break that down for us?
For one location, if they have less than 15 employees, it's $3,195. That gets them through their first year. That's the employee manual, a handbook, all of the personnel forms, job descriptions, and that ongoing update service and telephone support. Wow. At the beginning of their second year, if they have less than 15 employees, the only ongoing cost to them is $595 for the entire year. So it's, as you are well aware, it's a very small investment just to have that peace of mind.
Absolutely, and it's a protection plan.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
You know, the practice is really an asset that you want to protect, and this is just another way to help do that.
Yeah. Well, now, one last question for you, and then I'll let you get back to work. Tell me, what got you started in this whole industry in the first place?
Well, that's a really fun experience for me. I managed a very large practice in the Midwest for almost 18 years. And we had a large staff, so we had a lot of moving parts. And I started doing some consulting on the side because we did have so much experience in the practice. And I came across Bent Ericksen and Associates. And I used the product in the practice that I was managing. And I know as an office manager, as a practice administrator, what a help it was. And it did really give us peace of mind that we were doing things correctly. So from that, I just started doing more and more consulting and ended up actually working with Bent Ericksen as a consultant.
Wow,
so awesome.
So you're a product as well. Like you understand how all of this works. So.
I understand from both sides.
Yeah.
So it's really been a privilege for me to have both sides to view it from.
That's a great position to be in. And then if you just one more thing, I was just thinking of this as we were talking. What would be the one thing that you would want dentists to know about what they need to do next in order to protect themselves and to get on board with utilizing a human resources company such as yourself?
They really need to make sure they have all their bases covered. So they can certainly give us a call at Bent Ericksen and Associates. We have clients in all 50 states, so they don't have to wonder if they would be covered. They can call us, and we can definitely get handle on where they are and get their foundational pieces in place for their HR services, because that really is the foundation of their practice.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Well, thank you so much for being here and supporting us in this conference. We really appreciate it.
It's been great.
Thank you.
Thanks, Leslie.